Hey everyone! So today I'm going to be showing you my tea collection. This is a highly anticipated, long-awaited video, and I'm sorry it took me so long to film this, but I knew I had to set aside a chunk of time so I could give it the attention it deserved. So here is my tea collection. I basically store everything in a drawer in my kitchen, and I won't be adding to my tea collection. I'm going to try to dwindle it down and try to finish some of these up. So with that being said, I am now going to empty everything out of this drawer, and I'm going to put everything back in so you see exactly what I have and how I organize it. So yeah, sit back, grab a cup of tea, and let's get started. These bags that I'm going to show you were actually purchased from Kenya, from a tea factory that we got to tour. So this is really delicious tea, and it reminds me of our time in Kenya. And I purchased 4 bags and they were dirt cheap, and I've actually only opened one of them. So basically I like to put my extras in the back here. So I'm just gonna pop my 3 bags back here. And then we have one bag that we've opened and it's almost finished. So there's just a tiny bit in here. I love this tea, but I find it quite strong in terms of caffeine, and it's very flavorful. So while I love it, I can't drink it too often because I'm so caffeine sensitive. So I'm just gonna pop this one back here as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is actually just something that I've kept as a reminder of our vacation. It brings back fond memories of my husband and my first trip together, and we went to the Dominican Republic. I've never actually opened this before, but this is what the tea looks like. I don't know if I could actually brew this, and this is so many years old that I'm really gonna keep it just for memory's sake. So this tea I'm just gonna pop in the back because I don't really ever access this at all, but I like to have it in my collection. These 2 tins here are from France, and they actually house my tea bags. So in this first one here, let me just open it up. This has all of my David tea samples. These are like little freebies that you get when you place orders online. And then I just have 2 little Tea Forte tea bags, I guess. And one is in English breakfast and the other is in Earl Grey. And then in the second tin here, I have a bunch of other tea bags. So I have the little tea sticks that I got from my friend over the holidays, and then I have some other just miscellaneous tea bags that we've managed to gather over the past little while. So these 2 tins just stack really nicely on top of each other, and I just keep them in the corner here. Keeping on the theme of tea bags, this is some tea I got from Harrods from one of my girlfriends. She bought this for me from London, and this is the mango flavor, and I still have quite a few of these remaining, and these are super delicious. I don't know why I don't drink them more often. I just don't think of them. And yeah, I'm just gonna pop these in here above my other tea bags. So that's basically it for my tea bags. I do have a few others that I keep at work. Now I'm just gonna start in kind of random order, just building my collection and showing you how I store everything. So I kind of try to store everything by category, but what ends up happening, because I have more black tea than anything else, I kind of group my green teas together, and then I group my herbal infusions together, and the black teas are kind of scattered all around. So next I'm gonna show you a couple of my green teas. This one is from the Octavia Tea Company, and it's in the flavor Emerald Spring. This is an organic green tea. It used to be one of my favorite green teas, but I haven't really been into green tea lately, so I'm not really a big fan of this anymore. I actually contemplated getting rid of this because it's quite old and I never drink it anymore, but I think I'm gonna brew it 1 or 2 more times to try it, and I may even bring it to work. So I'm just gonna pop that in the corner here. So the next tea I have is by NourishTea, and this is the Sencha Green Tea. I'm not a big fan of this tea either, and I've drank almost half of it, but like I said, I don't really like it, and I'm not really into green tea right now, so I contemplated tossing this as well. But again, I'm gonna try brewing it another 1 or 2 more times and see how I feel about it. So next I have another tea from NourishTea, and this is one of my favorite teas. It's Earl Grey, which is by far my favorite tea. Plus I really like this one. It just has a really nice bergamot scent. It's quite floral, and yeah, I just really like this tea. This is a brand new canister because I did finish the first one that I picked up, and this is a replacement. So love this tea. So one of my favorite black teas besides Earl Grey is the Kenyan Tinderet. This is from David's Tea, and this is very similar to the tea that I picked up in Kenya in terms of flavor. They also look a little bit the same. The difference though is that the Kenyan Tinderet has kind of like bigger spheres, I guess. The pieces aren't as teeny tiny as the tea that I purchased in Kenya. So really, really love this tea. It's a very bold, strong tea and very, very flavorful. Next up is my hubby's favorite black tea. This is the Nepal Black, and it's really good. I just prefer the flavor of the Kenyan Tinderet. And my hubby likes to drink his tea black with no milk, no honey, no sugar, or anything like that. So this I find is a little bit of a less strong, less bold flavor, so it is pretty good on its own. Next up, I have a very recent favorite. I just picked this up a little while ago. Actually, it was quite a while ago, but I didn't dig into them until recently. These are the Jasmine Black Pearls, and they come in like a really tightly packed sphere shape. So what this does is it completely opens up when you brew it. So even though they come in little balls, they expand and loosen with water, and it just gives you a really nice black tea with a beautiful jasmine flavor, and I love the flavor of jasmine. So this is, again, one of my new favorites. And I actually have 2 bags of these. This one has not been opened yet, so I just like to store these together. This next tea is by the Tea Emporium, and it's called Winter Blend. It's a black tea, and it's got like a really spicy kick to it. It's got vanilla, orange, cinnamon, and clove, and it's a very kind of festive tea, if you will. It's not really my cup of tea, pardon the pun, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it again 1 or 2 more times, and if I don't fancy it, I will probably be letting it go. But for now, it still has a little place in my tea drawer. So next up, I'm going to show you some of my herbal infusions. This first one here is the Peppermint Amour, and this is a staple in my tea collection. I always have some of this. This is 100% organic peppermint leaves. It is perfectly pepperminty, and I just love this stuff. I like drinking it in the morning to refresh myself, and I also like drinking it in the evening. So since this is a staple for me, I do have a backup, and I'm just going to pop this in the back because I don't need it right away, and this one is unopened. Next up is another staple in my tea collection. I love chamomile tea, and this is one of my favorites by far. This is, again, 100% organic, and it is Egyptian chamomile, and it just tastes so good. I do like a little bit of honey in my chamomile just to sweeten it up a little bit, and it is such a treat. This is a very relaxing tea, but I like to drink it again in the day and also in the evening. I love the way this infusion looks. It has like little chamomile flowers, and I just think it's really pretty as well as delicious. The next infusion is becoming a staple in my tea collection. It is the David's Tea Cold 911, and to be quite honest, I don't really like this tea all that much. I just find it tastes really harsh. It's basically peppermint, juniper berries, orange peel, and it has natural eucalyptus in it, which gives it a really strong kick, and it's got like that eucalyptus scent to it. So I'm not a huge fan of this tea, but when I'm sick or when I'm feeling under the weather or when I'm feeling like I'm getting a cold, I always brew this, and it makes me feel so much better. Just really like it for that, even though I don't really like the flavor. And I do tend to gravitate to this versus just the pure peppermint when I'm not feeling well. So that's why I think this will become a staple in my collection, even though I'm not so crazy about it. The last herbal infusion I'm going to show you is the lemon myrtle, and I actually haven't tried this before, but I just opened it for this video so I could show you what the leaves look like, and this smells so amazing. It is so lemony, so beautifully citrusy, and I think I'm going to brew some of this tonight to try because I'm just really excited to give it a try. And I think I will be drinking this with a little bit of honey. So I think this will be a really nice treat. So now we're going to fill up the little space that's remaining in the middle. So this is Tisano chocolate tea, and I love this stuff. It's not a real tea per se, it's more of the cacao, I believe, that's been dried and roasted. This tastes basically like a hot chocolate but watered down, and I know that doesn't sound very good, but it's just got that hint of chocolate flavor without being like super rich. I still have, I guess, a third remaining, and I do plan to finish this up because I do love it. This next tea is by Lupicia, and it is the Decaf Muscat. This is probably my favorite tea from Lupicia. It's got a muscat kind of grape flavor, and it's just delicious with a little bit of honey, and you could add milk. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on how I'm feeling, but I got this from Lisa Hatcher, and I actually finished it so quickly that I had to buy some more. So I do have the Decaf Muscat in here, but it's the kind of replacement that I had to repurchase because I finished the first one so quickly. So love this stuff. Next up, I have some flowering tea from Ethiopia, and this is beautiful in the picture, but I've actually never brewed this. I am really excited to try because I love blooming teas. I think they're beautiful. So in this little box are 8 flowering teas, and it says you can use each one up to 3 times. So there are 4 different varieties. So I really would like to try this, but I have to get a clear teapot first, or I guess I could brew it in a pitcher, although, yeah, I guess that would work. This next tea I'm going to show you is actually the tea from my wedding, and if you watched my vlogist where I declutter my kitchen, you'll see when I found this in my tea set after 5 years. So I don't know if this tea is still going to be good, but I am going to brew it before I decide whether or not to keep it. And this is basically white tea scented with jasmine, I believe. And it smells really nice in the packaging. It still smells pretty good, although I don't remember what it smelled like originally 5 years ago. But yeah, I will be brewing this and seeing what it tastes like. So this next one is a Rooibos, and it's from Ethiopia, and I'm surprised that this is my only Rooibos because I love Rooibos. It's one of my favorites because it's not caffeinated, but it has a really nice flavor. So this is the Earl Grey Rooibos. I've never actually brewed this, so this is something else that I'd like to try over the weekend, possibly today. And yeah, it's just Rooibos with bergamot flavor. This is a green tea from Lupicia, and it's grape flavored as well, so I suspect I would really like it. Again, I haven't tried this one yet because I haven't really been craving tea lately, although I'm starting to get back into it, and green tea in particular I'm not really a fan of right now, but I will be giving this a try because I love the Decaf Muscat so much, and this has a similar scent to it. I have this in a little Ziploc baggie because I did cut this open to show you what the leaves look like, but I don't really have a canister for this that I can find, so I'm just sealing it in a Ziploc baggie and storing it with the rest of my tea collection. This is another tea that I have from the Tea Emporium, and this is the Ming Dynasty Rose. It's basically a green tea with rose blossom flavor, and it smells so good. This is another flowering tea, and I think I had maybe 2 or 3 of these when I first bought the package, but I only have 1 left. I just love the way this tea looks. It's sort of like in a little bundle, and it's tied with string. I haven't brewed this in probably years, so hopefully the flavor is still nice. It does have a Ziploc top, so hopefully it'll be okay. Finally, this is my last tea that I'm going to be showing you today, and this completes my tea collection, except I have a few things at work that I keep there to drink. This is the Rose Congou Green, and this is a huge bag from David's Tea. Even though I don't really like green tea, I love rose, and this smells amazing, so I'm going to try this weekend as well. I have to say, doing this tea collection has made me kind of rediscover my love for tea, and I am very excited to be drinking these. So that is it for my tea collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry it was such a long time coming, so I hope it was worth the wait, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you real soon. Until then, take care, and bye for now.